We are often taught that forgiveness is the pinnacle of love, the ultimate sacrifice we must make to preserve a sacred bond between two human souls. We believe that by enduring every mistake, we are being noble and strong, protecting the fragile connection we share with those we hold most dear. But this belief is a dangerous illusion, a bitter truth hidden behind a mask of virtue that eventually leads to a path of silent destruction. Constant forgiveness is not always a sign of a high soul. Rather, it can be the subtle beginning of an unintended, deeply rooted, and painful cruelty. It is the fastest way to kill the very respect that sustains a relationship, turning a vibrant love into an unbearable, heavy burden of hidden resentment. When we refuse to set boundaries, we invite a slow death to the intimacy we cherish, creating a hollow shell of what once was a home. True kindness requires more than just tolerance. It requires the courage to face reality, even when that reality is painful and very difficult to accept. Today, we explore why your infinite patience might be the very weapon that is tearing your relationship apart. Peace by agonizingly slow and silent peace. Philosophy tells us that justice is the foundation of any healthy interaction. It requires a delicate balance of rewards for good and consequences for mistakes. When the punishment for a mistake is removed entirely, the scale collapses. Without consequences, actions lose their weight and meaning in the eyes of others. Every time you forgive unconditionally, without requiring change or genuine remorse, you are effectively erasing a part of your own personal and vital protective boundary. You are sending a silent message to your partner. Their actions have no weight, their choices have no gravity, and your feelings simply do not matter. This dynamic transforms the relationship into a hunt where one side is always retreating, losing ground until there is nowhere left to hide or stand. By stripping away their responsibility, you are hindering their growth. You treat them like a child who is incapable of understanding the pain they have caused. You become a tragic martyr, carrying the sins of the relationship alone, while your partner remains stuck in a cycle of immaturity and unconscious neglect. This imbalance creates a toxic environment where love cannot breathe. It is replaced by a sense of duty that feels more like a cold iron prison. To love someone truly is to hold them accountable. Without accountability, forgiveness is just a slow poison that devalues the person giving and receiving it. The real cruelty of constant forgiveness lies in what it does to you. It is a slow erosion of your soul, piece by tiny, invisible piece. You begin to confuse endurance with love. You tell yourself that staying quiet is a virtue, but your heart knows a much darker and colder truth. Deep down, your self-esteem is being washed away. You are no longer an equal partner with a voice. You are becoming an invisible, silent shadow. You become a doormat labeled vibrant heart. You allow your boundaries to be crossed so often that you forget where they ever even existed before. Your partner begins to lose respect for you. It is a harsh reality. No one can truly respect someone who does not respect themselves enough. Why should they value your feelings if you don't seem to value them enough to defend them? Your silence becomes a signal of your own insignificance. Inside, the resentment builds. A storm of unspoken words and suppressed anger swirls in the dark corners of your mind, waiting for a single spark. You are trapped in a cage of your own making, built from bricks of "I'm okay," while your spirit slowly dies in the heavy silence. This is the cost of being too kind. You lose the person you were, and the relationship becomes a monument to everything you failed to say. Constant forgiveness is often accompanied by a terrifying silence. You stop fighting, not because you've won, but because you have finally and completely given up. You keep the peace on the surface, but underneath, a bitter transformation is taking place. Your anger is turning into something far more lethal: contempt. This is the most cruel stage of any relationship. You are physically present, you are still forgiving, but your heart has already walked out the door. Contempt is the final nail in the coffin of intimacy. It is the moment you decide that the other person is no longer worth the struggle. You forgive them now because you no longer care enough to be angry. Their actions can no longer hurt you because they no longer matter. The bond is severed, yet the ritual of the relationship continues. It is a ghost ship sailing on an ocean of unspoken grievances and pain. You have become a stranger to the one you love. The mercy you show them is actually a form of total emotional abandonment and isolation. This silence is more destructive than any shouting match could ever be. It is the sound of a love that has finally run out of air. When you stop demanding better, you stop believing that better is possible. You have accepted a life of quiet desperation in exchange for peace. Real love sometimes requires a form of cruelty to survive. It is the necessary cruelty of saying no and standing your ground with conviction. It is the demand that your partner pays the price for their mistakes, not out of malice, but out of a deep respect for the truth. We must learn that refusing to forgive until justice is restored is sometimes the only way to save a relationship that is slowly drowning in lies. Boundaries are not walls to keep people out. They are the gates that define where you end and where the other person begins in love. Setting a limit is an act of profound honesty. It tells the other person that they are important enough to be told the difficult, painful truth. Forgiveness should be earned through change, not given away like a cheap commodity that loses its value with every single use and repeat. When you say, "This is not okay," you are protecting the sanctity of the bond. You are declaring that your love is worth fighting for. This confrontation is the medicine that heals the rot of resentment. It is bitter, it is difficult to swallow, but it brings life back. Only when both partners are held to the same standard of respect can a relationship truly flourish and withstand the trials of time and ego. Do not let your kindness become a weapon of self-destruction. True freedom comes from knowing your worth and acting upon that inner, sacred knowledge. Forgive when they are worthy, and be firm when you must. This balance is the only way to keep your heart whole and your spirit free. A relationship does not need a saint who suffers in silence. It needs two real human beings who respect each other's limits and shared values. Truth can be cruel in the short term, but it is the only foundation upon which a lasting, healthy, and vibrant love can ever be built. When you stop hiding behind false mercy, you allow the light of transparency to wash away the shadows of doubt and the stain of contempt. You deserve a love that honors your boundaries. You deserve a partner who sees your strength, not just your willingness to endure their repeated mistakes. Remember that your value is not measured by how much pain you can take. It is measured by how much truth you are willing to live. Choose respect. Choose yourself. And in doing so, you might just save the love that you were once so afraid of losing forever. True forgiveness is a path to healing, but only when paved with the stones of accountability and the light of mutual, unwavering human respect.